Ethics cannot be expressed, the most honest confession of modern philosophy. The limits of language reveal not darkness, but blinding light. Wittgenstein's silence is more articulate than discourse. He built a ladder of words only to throw it away. When painting ceased to illustrate, it ceased to speak. Abstract art is a revolt against the tyranny of titles. Composition is the epitaph of verbal imaginations. Modern art addresses nerves, not minds. The wordless canvas trembles between revelation and decoration. Classical music conversed with language through form. Modern music denies all grammar. The serialist composes with numbers, not emotions. The new musician writes equations in sound. What once sang now clicks. Between Bach and Stockhausen lies the mute age of man. The world has receded from the reach of words. There are realms we can know only numerically, not narratively. Shakespeare could speak of everything. We can now speak of less. Reality begins when language stops. The poet lives among ruins of a once totaled discourse. The word grows tired like an old coin worn smooth by exchange. Mass culture erodes diction into slogans. The advertisement has replaced the psalm as our vernacular prayer. A civilization's moral decay begins in its adjectives. Operation Sunshine names our doom. Democracy produces many speakers but few words. Literacy is not the number of readers but the depth of attention. The media speak to us in pidgin, we answer in cliché. The decline of syntax mirrors the decline of conscience. When speech becomes evasive, tyranny has already begun. The poet now writes on a shrinking island in a sea of numbers. His task is not to modernize, but to remember. To write is to resist the silence with measured breath. Each true sentence is an act of defiance against entropy. Literature endures as the last resistance of the word before its extinction. Where the word of the poet ceases, a great light begins. To perish by silence, that civilization on which Apollo looks no more will not long endure. Man is the animal who speaks, and by speech defies the gods. Baudelaire and Mallarmé sought to free language from causality, to make words events of revelation, not communication. Surrealism inherits this revolt. Effects precede causes. Syntax dissolves into simultaneity. Mallarmé turns the common word into an occult object. Language becomes a rite of initiation. But liberation from meaning courts catastrophe. Genius alone redeems obscurity. When the spell weakens, mystery becomes jargon and the sacred turns to noise. The modern poet invents a private notation. Only the elect can decipher it. Where vision sustains the idiom, Rimbaud and Rilke, we cross from the real to the more real. But talent without necessity breeds imposture, hermeticism as vanity. In Dylan Thomas, the dazzle masks depletion. The showman replaces the seer. The private word without genius collapses into gibberish. A dream of music where meaning fathers poets seek refuge in sound. Verlaine's creed crowns the ear over the mind. The symbolists make of poetry a score awaiting a composer. Wilde and Maeterlinck become libertinists of silence. Debussy and Strauss their interpreters. The poem dreams of symphony, a purity beyond the concept.